Okay, I'm just doing a quick video this morning about some of the things you don't think about when you're on the road. Well, you think about them after you're on the road, and you should have thought about them before you were on the road. Mail service is the big one. Now, we're not that far from home, probably, I don't know, half hour where we're parked now, but we're still away from home. So it's either run back to the house each day and pick up our mail, which is a real pain, or what we did was we had our mail held at the post office, and we did it for like a month. So she went down and filled out some sort of form, and they hold the mail right at the post office for a month. So we go down maybe once a week and pick it up. But as you probably know, we're getting ready to head south here, and we're going to stay here probably another month at least. Then we're going to head south. Maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter. But on our way down, obviously we can't turn around and run home just to get our mail. So we're not sure what we're going to do yet. There are mail services, but a lot of them can get pretty expensive. But what we're going to do this winter is we'll be in an RV park down in Florida, so we'll have our mail transferred to there, which isn't a problem because we'll be there for 6 months or so. But in the meantime, our mail is still coming. We have no place to get it. So probably what we're going to end up doing is having a family friend or something, family or a friend, have it sent to their house, I guess, and have them go through it and sort it. And if it's something we're going to need, they won't have a way to send it because we won't have an address. And in our travels for that time after we leave here before we reach Florida, we have no set plans. We're going to visit a few of our RV friends that have invited us to stop, and on the way down through, so we can meet up and get to meet and know everybody. But we don't plan on staying there any length of time. You know, we may just stop for lunch or dinner, or we may stay overnight. But we're not gonna be there long enough to get mail. So we have to. Most of our bills are paid online, so that's not a problem. But there's still stuff that's not. And one thing we did do is on our insurances for our car and, of course, our house that we live in, which is the Have Gas Will Travel RV. Those are done through an email type thing. We don't actually get any paperwork. It all comes through the email, and the email shouldn't be a problem. I mean, you can always go to McDonald's or something to pick your email up. We haven't worked out what we're going to use for internet while we're on the road other than McDonald's or a place like that where we can just sign in to see what's going on as far as email goes. But it's something you might want to think about as far as your actual physical mail. What you're going to do with that. If you have a friend or a relative who can collect it and go through it for you, that's that much better. At least they can tell you what you've got, and then you can see about if it's a bill or something, paying it over the internet or something. But that's one thing that still bugs us a little bit. We do have people that'll do it. And I know they'll do it, but it's a pain for them. And we don't want to stick anybody long term. And we're talking a month or two, and I just don't like doing it because it's kind of infringing on them, and I guess we could pay them a few dollars, but it's still a pain. Anyway, that's one thing. Number two is repairs. Now, when we pulled in here to set up, when I pulled in, I put the jacks down, got the coach fairly level. I left the engine running. I don't know why. Usually I don't. I just run it off the batteries. But we have a hydraulic system on ours for the levelers and for the slide out. But I had the engine running, and I went to move the slide out, and all of a sudden there was a lot of smoke around the RV. Well, I thought maybe I had popped an oil line or something coming up here for the engine. That's what it smelled like. But it wasn't. It was actually one of the hoses for the slide, which I have not fixed yet, and I have to get fixed. But it leaks just enough. It's not a bad leak, but it leaks just enough where the hoses are inside a box channel. And that box channel has holes in it. And I was pointed downhill just enough. It dripped off onto the exhaust where the headers come off the engine. This thing has headers on it instead of just a regular exhaust. The guy had headers and all that put on, get a little more power out of it. It dripped down onto the back just before it wires together and goes into the muffler. And it smokes. I mean, one little drop of oil throws a ton of smoke. And basically that's what happened. It was smoking out of there. So that's one thing I have to get taken care of before we leave. And when you're living in an RV full time, you can't just take it somewhere and leave it, or you have no place to stay. So I'm going to make a few phone calls around and see if I can get somebody that'll let us park there while they work on it. It's not a problem getting out of the RV for 4 or 5 hours while they work on it, because we can always go down. We can go somewhere with a car. But that's something else to think about. You know, if you have a problem and you're living in that thing full time, you have to make sure that they will let you stay in it, even if it's just in their parking lot for a couple of days while they get the repairs done. But I don't know, these are just a couple things that kind of popped up, and I wanted to make a little video so maybe somebody else could be a little more prepared than what we are. At least give them time to think about it and see, you know. But the mail was the big thing. Fixing the RV, I could probably do it myself. I'm not gonna. Crawling around underneath there is not my idea of fun. And if I was a little younger, it wouldn't bother me a bit, but I'm not, so I'll have somebody else take care of that. Like I say, I know it's just a hydraulic line. I don't know if it's rubbed underneath there and got a pinhole in or what. Like I said, it's not a lot of oil coming up, but just a little bit. But a little bit really smokes. And I made the unfortunate mistake. I had the engine running. We opened all the windows just because it was a warm day. And in an RV, if you have the windows closed, it's like an oven unless you have the air conditioning on. So we opened all the windows. And then when I started moving it out, of course, the smoke came right in the windows. And it took probably a half hour to clear it out. It wasn't super bad, but it stunk. And it was a, oil burn. It's not a pleasant smell. Like I say, it wasn't real bad, but it was bad enough. Anyway, those are a couple things that I thought maybe I should make a video on. I know one has nothing to do with the other, but it's just something to think about. Like I say, our insurance and all that stuff is taken care of, so we can pay that if we're on the road or whatever. All we can do is stop at McDonald's, push a few keys, and our insurance and like that's taken care of. And most of our bills are taken care of online, so we don't have a lot of bills as far as bills go. We have the normal stuff that everybody does, car insurance, and the house will be gone, I hope. And that's something else you might want to think about, and I did not, is your house insurance. If you're putting your house up for sale and you're living in your RV while your house is for sale, sometimes your insurance that you currently have on the house will not cover the house because the house is empty. And when I talked to our insurance agent about it, we were actually living at the house in the RV in the side yard. So it wasn't a problem. We were still using the shower and the washer and dryer. But now that we've moved away from the house, the insurance, they can give you a rough time over it because you're physically not there, and if something happens, they may not cover it. So that's something to check into. I never give it a thought until we were actually sitting there talking to the insurance lady, and then I asked her, she says, well, then you've got to have a different kind of insurance. So make sure you think about that too. Well, that's about all I've got for this morning. I just thought I'd make a quick video and let you guys know a couple of problems. You know, if everybody publishes their problems on here they're having, then that gives us all a chance to maybe think about it a little bit before we actually have to do something. But I hope everybody's having a good day. And if you're living in an RV full time, you got to be loving it, because I know we are. And we're really happy being in it. And even though we're only a few minutes from home, we can go wherever we want. And it's like coming up here. I came up here to give my nephew a hand. He had a nice place for it to set up at. We have all kinds of room here. We can do whatever we want. I did hook into his internet, and he provides power for us. You know, we just got one cord running to the house on a 20 amp outlet because we don't use a lot of power in the RV. But it's been a super time, and we can't wait to get actually rolling down the road. So we'll catch you later. This is Handsome Jack saying goodbye from Have Gas Will Travel, and we will catch you later.